Alrighty, okay. Here we go. Happiness around. Thank you.
Yes.
No objections. Set there. Are we set? Are you set? Thank you. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and action.
Welcome to The Profile with myself, Marilyn Monrose, and we have our special guest, Mthunzi Dubazana. Welcome.
Thank you,
to The
Marilyn
Profile.
Monrose.
I'm about to ask you 20 questions. Are you ready?
Can I ask you one question?
Oh wow, turning tables. Yes.
Yes, can you sing happy birthday like Marilyn Monroe? Since your name is Marilyn Monrose.
Yeah, I can say.
Okay, just before I answer you, why don't you?
Now you're putting me into the spotlight. Oh my gosh, guys.
Tomorrow's my birthday, so.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. All right. Happy birthday, Mthunzi. Happy birthday, Mthunzi. Happy birthday, dear Mthunzi. Happy birthday to you. Oh gosh, I was not ready for that. I was not ready for that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you the first question is, why film?
Ooh, film. Okay. Film for me was the one medium I found to be very interesting because before I ventured into film, I had written 3 short stories
Okay.
in the format of books. So I found that it's not easy to tell your story. Not maybe I'm using the wrong word. Maybe to distribute,
Yes.
sort of disseminate the story throughout, and tell it to a lot of people through books because not a lot of people read.
Read, yes.
But a lot of people watch film, watch television. So
Yes.
I found it's an easy medium to tell stories.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So when did you start in the industry? The film industry, when did it all begin?
The film industry. Well, I don't know if I'd be accurate if I'd say I started when I was in grade 7.
Oh, really?
When my mom bought me my first camera for my birthday.
Oh, that's so
Yeah, it was a
sweet.
stills camera though.
Yes.
But I started telling stories through film
Okay.
when I was in grade 7. But I think it was in 2008 when I did my first job in the film
nice.
industry after shadowing my brother on Bay of Plenty while I was in high school,
Mhm.
just to make sure if it's something I'd want to venture into. So I followed him for a couple of months, looked at all the other the other departments which he was not in, and I fell in love just like that.
So basically, for how long have you been into the industry, really? If you could just.
2018, so 10 years. Because
10.
my first job was.
So it's been
in
a decade.
2008, yes.
Shout out to you, hey. What are your biggest highlights in your career?
Yeah, I have a lot of highlights.
Name them.
One of my biggest highlights was when I worked in 2015 with a director called Philip Noyce. He's an Australian director, but he's based in America. So he was down here in Southern Africa they were remaking Roots. So I luckily was one of the crew members there. Yeah, so that was one of my biggest highlights. Another highlight was in 2012. I did a feature film from the Netherlands. It was called The Price of Sugar. It's about African slavery and all of that. So
Yes.
it really touched my heart. It was a very
Yes.
good project to work on.
Amazing. When was your breakthrough into the film industry?
My breakthrough.
Yes. Love that question.
Gosh. I don't know, hey, because it all started when my grandfather was hustling and playing amabioscope,
Yes.
in schools all around the country. And my brothers and my uncles. So I don't want to make it seem like nepotism,
Yeah.
But my brothers and
Yeah.
my uncles
Yes.
sort of ventured in the same line. And like I
Alright.
mentioned earlier, I shadowed him in Bay of Plenty
Yes.
when they were filming it down here in I think 2006, 2007. So from there, it's just been jobs after jobs after jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please give us one word to describe the industry. Just one. To describe your job. Yeah.
My job,
Yeah.
magical.
What? Lovely. Anyone would you like to work with in the future? Me.
Well, I've got a list, but one person I would like to work with in the future in the industry. There's a young man by the name of Spongsen Zondi. He's a young director. He directed on Muzalo. He's directing on Mubango now. He's directing a few other things on the side of his own that are not on the commercial spotlight. But definitely I would love to work with that young man one day.
Nice.
Yeah.
If there could be any change that you can make in the industry, what would be that?
To break the African stereotype.
Okay. What's the African stereotype?
African stereotype in my line of work is that I feel like Africans need to tell or need not to stick to the Western convention of narrative, when it comes to storytelling, to break that white man hero complex, to put it, the African is always saved by the white man in stories. I feel like we are unique.
Yes.
We are unique. We are hence we are great. So if there's one thing that's really threatened, it's our identity and our relevance.
Yeah.
So for me, the one thing that I would need to break is that stereotype that we need to tell African cinema through Western lenses or European lenses. I don't think that's right. We have our own unique cultures that need to be translated in our own ways.
Yes.
So to break conventions, that's the one thing I would want to change.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So woke. What's your what is the advice that you would give a young filmmaker?
A young filmmaker would depend where he is in his journey. I mean, advice, there's no one dimensional way to advise a person. It would depend on which level they're at. But I mean, in this industry, it's all about being humble.
Yes.
Listen more and talk less.
Well, I hope the guys behind the scenes are listening.
Yeah.
Yep. Another question. Tell us one word about you. Just one word.
One word about me. One word about myself. Exciting.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Lovely. The show that you're currently working on, how is that? How did that come about?
Okay, currently I'm working on 2 shows. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about them.
So currently I'm first assistant director on Imbeu. That's a television show that's playing on ETV Mondays to Friday, 9:30.
Yeah.
It's broken some conventions in terms of how soapies are perceived.
Yes.
Because they have a very cinematic look. As opposed to a lot of our soapies in the country. And even the way it's shot, it's not your typical studio cameras, ENG cameras. They use prime lenses. When we punch, you don't zoom in. Even the way it's shot shot in a filmic way. So the texture and the feel, it's very cinematic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And the other show, because you said you got 2.
Yes, I've got 2. So the other projects that I'm working on or have been working on is sort of my own baby.
Okay.
And the collaboration between me and another production house.
Yeah.
So, like I said, there's a lot of rich stories in Africa.
Yes.
That need to be told by Africans in the African way, and not being afraid, even though it's always safe to use tried and tested methods,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's good just to take a risk. So that's as much as I'm going to say. So I'm producing and I'm directing on
Lovely.
that show. It's going to be TXing in January on one of the channels. I don't know where this is going to be broadcast, so I'm not going to say, because maybe it might be.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. You are at Grapevine Production.
Yes, I am.
What do you do there?
I'm a first assistant director, like I've mentioned.
Oh, okay.
So a first AD is basically a person who thrives on chaos.
Yes. Yes.
Hence, I said I'm exciting. So
Yeah.
basically, you
Yeah.
just bring things together to make them work seamlessly for the director, not just for the director, even for the actors, to
Yes.
make sure that when they get to the floor, there's nothing that is going to be distractive to them and all of that, and the director can just focus on doing their job.
Yes.
Basically, my job is to make sure that everyone else is doing their job
And they're happy.
properly. Yeah.
All right. Cool. You studied at Creative Arts.
I did.
Tell us the journey after a Creative Arts.
The journey after creative arts.
Yes.
Well, there was a journey before and there was a journey during creative arts.
Yes.
It was crazy because I would be away maybe for 3-4 months from school,
Really?
and to come back and write an exam,
Oh my God.
be away on jobs,
Yeah.
basically. And I even missed my graduation actually because
You lie.
I promise.
Oh my
I
God.
missed my graduation because I was on set.
Aww.
I could not be on set that day because we had a huge day. I bought a suit, I was prepared, I was ready, and then it never happened. But anyway, so the journey, it was very, how can I put it? Like I said, it's tough to be, or should I say, it's challenging to be an African filmmaker.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
this era, and be able to break through, because we're talking about two industries here: the film industry and the television industry.
Yes.
In the television, it's much more easier, but when it comes to film, it's still kind of hard to break through.
Yes.
And have a very, how can I put it? So you see, that job that I'm currently doing is for a television production.
Yes. Yeah.
You would hardly find someone my age doing the same thing in a big feature film.
Yeah.
When I say big feature film, I'm talking about international.
Yeah.
So hence I'm saying it's challenging. So I thought if I go to school and I study,
Yeah.
and just have a paper in my hand, it would be better for me to break
True.
it. Yeah. So education is the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you prefer producing? Okay, which one do you like? Producing or being an AD?
But I actually love directing. I love
Right.
directing, and being an AD is very, very close to directing, because you sort of help the director in translating their vision,
Yeah. Yeah.
and making sure that it's done the way they want it to be done.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe producing and being an AD. I don't like sitting in the office. I love being hands-on.
Being hands-on, okay,
Like
yes.
I said, I thrive in chaos. So from producing and being an AD, I would say being an AD.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Where do you see film industry like in 10 years from now? Where do you see the film industry?
Okay, so do you mean film industry here in KZN or
Yeah,
in Africa?
Let's say Africa.
In Africa.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe let me start, just narrow it down to our province and to our
Yes.
city.
Yeah.
The climate right now has transformed. you know?
Yeah.
It's really transformed.
Yeah.
Because backtrack 3 years, 4-5 years from now.
Yeah.
Before now, there were no commercial television productions that were actually successful and were being done or filmed here in Durban.
Yeah.
So currently we have Uzalo, we have Imbewu, we've got many other films that are, and other television productions that are coming here. Even my own that I mentioned, it's going to be shot right here in the province.
Oh,
so the climate has changed, and it's ready for new filmmakers. The ones I mentioned who are not gonna stick to the conventions, of Western cinema or European cinema.
Yes.
That are gonna be bold and tell African stories the African way. So in 10 years from now, like I said, it's just that there's a bit of a crisis of identity and relevance.
Yeah.
So in 10 years from now, I would say I see African stories being told by African people in an African way.
Yeah.
And I see, how do I put it? The one thing that's really important is for audience.
Yeah.
To
respond
to understand.
Yeah.
Earlier I said breaking stereotypes.
Yes.
Because our audiences have been brainwashed into seeing white hero complex and all of that. So I see African audiences responding and actually supporting African stories, in making them a success. Because if I today, even yourself, you go to a cinema today, you see a local film and an international blockbuster.
Of course, I'll choose that one, the international one.
Yeah. So in 10 years from now, we are hoping for an audience that will relate. When I say relate, I mean because the stories are told in a voice that they understand, a voice that they know.
Yes.
So they would actually wanna watch or choose an African story as opposed to a Hollywood blockbuster. Yeah.
Oh, that is woke.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it really the industry, the film industry and the television industry? Is it male dominated?
Well, in previous eras, it was, because there was the silent era, there was the apartheid era, there was the post-apartheid era, and now I feel like there's a new era that is now breaking through or coming forth. Yeah. Where female filmmakers are now being given a chance. So, our filmmakers, or should I say the ones that we were born from, are ones that are also quite young. They're like less than 20 years old, because apartheid was just broken now in 1994. And people are only now trying to find identity and uniqueness in how they tell stories, in how they do television. Yes. So in a way, it was male dominated, but now that, like I said, the climate is changing. Yes. I think breaking that convention of male supremacy is also coming with this new climate change in our industry. So I think it's gonna change. Eventually. It's gonna change.
What's your take on oppression against women in this industry?
Oppression against women?
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? If you've been on a set, on a film set, or on a television set, you would see the way things are done. Some of the things that we are accustomed to and we see as anomaly are not right, are not done the way it is supposed to be done. Yeah. So some of them translate into abuse and all of that. Yeah. So I think it's not right. We just need to change our mindset. and be
Yes.
more open-minded,
Yes.
more welcoming, and more. There's this thing of not trusting and believing in women.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
just look at our province. It's women who brought the first successful television production to KZN.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, the second biggest one in Mbeu, there's a woman who's an executive producer.
Oh yes.
So
yes.
the climate is changing. So my take is that whoever is still doing that is still stuck up. They need to
True.
get with the times. Yeah.
Now we only got 2 questions for you.
Okay.
We're about to finish.
Yes.
One word that explained your current workplace. One word.
One word
Yes.
to explain my current workplace. Whew. I want to say sausage factory.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's magical.
Magical.
Yeah, it's
Everything's
also magical.
magical.
Yeah, it's
Ah.
magical.
What's the first come in mind when I say Creative Arts College?
Creative Arts College. It's a pit stop in my journey.
Yeah.
So the first word that comes is pit stop because it's a place where I stopped to refresh, to refresh my perspective, to refresh my intellect, and to kind of realign myself on where I want to go and what I want to do exactly in the industry. I feel like had I not come here, I'd still be a bit confused because it can take a while for you to actually figure out what exactly you want to do. You can think you have a passion for something, and once you actually experience doing it, or experience other people doing it, you kind of change your perspective and be like, no, I don't think this is what I want to do. I'm not cut out for this.
Yes.
So it was a pit stop which aligned my vision in the right direction.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes.
That's the end of it. You enjoyed?
So I did. Thank you so much.
I did too. Thank you
Yes.
so much for coming through.
Thank
Really
you for singing
appreciate
for me because on my
you.
birthday.
Oh wow!
Just an icebreaker. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Well, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. For me, Marilyn Monroe, and our guest, Mthunzi. We are out. Bye.
Thank you.